This is some hard soil, heavy clay with rocks in it. And where it's not rocks, it's roots from the junipers that used to be in here. The owner, though, would like this bed to be a focal point of his landscape, and he's chosen a Japanese threadleaf maple to put into it. Unfortunately, Japanese maples don't thrive in heavy clay soil. So what we're going to do today is build a stone drywall, a natural wall with no mortar in it, and we're going to backfill that wall with this good topsoil that we've brought in. The Japanese maple will not only survive, but thrive in this landscape. We've laid out this garden hose, and that marks where we're going to have the wall. It needs to show both from the street and from the driveway as one approaches the front door. Now, when you're doing a wall like this, you have to start at the very lowest point. And I always use the thickest stones I've got for that because they're going to be sporting the most weight. Once you've got a trench dug out that'll be kind of a footing for your wall, flatten it out a little bit, and then pour some ordinary builder's sand into it. The sand will help us level the stones more easily. Now, the first stone is always the hardest one to get level and in the proper place. And what we want to do is take this builder's sand and kind of smooth it around, take our first stone and lay it in place, and then level it. If we don't start level, we won't end up level. And this one needs to be higher at this end and lower at the near end. And that's where the sand comes in. It's kind of easy to scooch it around, push a little under it until we get it level that way as well as this way. Now, once we've got the first stone seated and level, it's time to put in the second one. And this is where the sand becomes very important, because if the tops of the two stones are not level, we can add or subtract a little bit of sand to make sure that both stones are the same height. Otherwise, our next layer won't go right. Now, in order to cut these two, because we don't want this ugly gap, we can take our level, lay it adjacent to the first stone, score the second one, maybe even do it a second time. So we've got a parallel line. And when we cut along here, these two stones will fit together like a glove, and their tops will be nice and even, so they'll support the second layer. Cutting stone is not that difficult. You'll need a few simple things: a hammer, a chisel, safety glasses, a 2x10 with a piece of carpet covering it up. That supports the stone as you hammer on it. Cuts nice and clean. We lay it in place, and you'll notice that I've put a few plants in the wall as I've built it up. And what that does is it gives the stone wall an old look. These plants will cascade down over the wall and look really nice. There are a few important things to remember when you're building a dry wall like this. First, get the bottom layer absolutely level. Second, select stones that are the same thickness for each successive layer. And third, have a little bit of a setback on your wall. That is, each stone should move a little bit uphill as you build the layers. And then you'll be ready to rake your good topsoil in behind the wall. You will have solved a problem in the landscape, that terrible dirt underneath it. And you will have added a nice feature, as well as making a great home for an expensive, good-looking plant.